Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bears Den. How is everyone doing tonight, guys? Hope everybody is having a great night tonight. It is Tuesday, it is talk show time. It's time to kick back, relax, have some fun, and talk about, well, hopefully have some fun, but talk about the good, bad, ugly, interesting, wild, whatever of the video game industry. Yeah, we definitely have some interesting things queued up, which is always a good thing. And hopefully, you guys are gonna enjoy some of this, some of the things we've found as far as news, and also hopefully you guys have stuff that you guys want to mention as well. Be it stuff that we're like points that we're talking about and chime in with your own 2 cents, or topics that we're not talking about that you find interesting as well, because that's always cool, because hey, we like chatting with you guys too. So yeah, typically we try and open up the floor around 10 p.m. or an hour into the show, seeing how it's 9 Eastern here is when we start, or about, but we always get sidetracked. It's our show, we do what we want. We try to open it up though for you guys. So with that being said, let's dive on in and see what all is going on with everybody.
For the last time, it's been a while. I ate a lot of them when I was a kid too.
Yeah, me too.
Then there-
String
and then
cheese
there
is what
was-
we're talking about. Jen just walked up and like handed me half a. It looked like a chapstick with nothing on it. Like it's just like a naked chapstick.
That's kind of what I saw. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Wait
And then
a
I'm like
minute.
biting it.
yeah. It's like, that's weird.
So this is really funny, and I'm just gonna do this in my chat real quick. Not that I mean, I guess Paul's here, and like the three of us are, so I'm just gonna do this anyways. Today is my affiliate anniversary.
Ooh, joy.
I did. Well, I mean,
Congrats.
it's actually today though. Like the odds of that, like I don't
Yeah,
stream every
that's a fun
fucking day
coincidence.
or anything. Like, yeah, that was kind of funny. And honestly,
Uh,
I don't even remember how long ago that was. Like,
Oh, it doesn't.
It should tell you.
Tell you.
where?
I see
Like-
a 37. No, that would be.
Also, are you
I
live?
see-
I am live.
Yeah, I'm watching them.
Okay.
I have both your chats open.
Yeah.
30. I see a 37-month
Hey, Blue.
subscriber star on your name.
Yeah, it just says happy affiliate anniversary. Like it was already pre-filled in my chat. Like it was like send us your chat. I'm like, okay. So I guess today is my Twitch
Cool.
affiliate anniversary. Okay, well,
Well,
So,
happy
cheers.
anniversary.
let's have some fucking sake and a good fucking show. Hi,
Cheers.
Blue. How are you, you sexy bastard? And or bitch, depending on how you want to be affiliated, and or smacked on the butt.
It's all good.
I've been like hypersexual today. Like Jen needed me to like help her with some shit in her room with her PC, and I was like, let me get under that desk. Like, why do I have to say shit like that? Like I could just be normal, but I can't. I just cannot do that.
or
Dust bunnies.
I was gonna say
It's
that,
sake right now.
that or like how you showed putting the sake bottle into the little koozie there to me.
Oh yeah. Gotta keep this sucker warm, baby. And then it had steam, and I was like,
Yep, I saw. I even Googled what is the proper temperature to serve sake at,
what did
and
it say?
it depends on the own person's personal taste as well as the type of sake, because there are some you just do not serve like either cold or hot or whatever.
Yep.
But you,
Oh,
yeah,
you
and it's
don't
just like,
mess around
okay,
with that
cool,
shit.
cool.
It's like a wine thing, right? Because it is wine at the
Oh
end
yeah,
of the day.
yeah.
But yeah, it is like a big part of it is personal preference. Like, but you don't chill red wine.
It's kind of better than
You know,
mine.
It is way better than wine because it doesn't have the fucking tannins that make me feel like I want to fucking pull my brain out the next day. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it, Grant. Hey, look at that. It actually showed up this time. I appreciate that.
Because I
Thank you
actually
very much.
went in and did it. I'm on
Nice.
your page now.
Oh, okay. How does one serve Miller? As cold as you can possibly get it, and on the back porch at like 4:45 on a fucking Thursday. like afternoon. Like you just get out of work a little bit early. That's the optimal Miller High Life time. Miller Lite's a little different. You can just drink that shit in a garage. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Thank you again for the resub. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
In a dirty boot also could be true, honestly.
Yeah.
I have drank it out of a shoe before.
Why am I not surprised?
I know, right? Oh, Queeno. Poor bastard.
That's why we love you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So it looks like we all have like a bunch of like little stories today,
Which is kind of
cool.
Kind of
Like,
good. I mean, some of them have more talking points than others. I will say that too. But yeah, like I knew a lot of mine were on the smaller side, so I'm like, I'll just add some extra in because they're all small.
Yep, that was kind of how I was doing too.
I have plenty, so if we do run out.
No, I think that's what I'm saying is that like I have 6 right now, but they're all kind of like tidbitty. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start off with a tidbitty. Just I think this is kind of fun. So. Okay, yeah, no, we'll do a tidbitty one. So I was like, oh, Nick is about that tidbit life.
Is that a snack?
Kicks in the door. Where's that cheese stick? I do you guys even remember this game Concord that just dropped?
Oh yeah.
Literally on. Okay.
You told me that you were in the like beta for it or something like that.
No. You're thinking about Deadlock, which is the Valve one.
Okay, yeah.
But
There
Concord
was
is the same.
There was an open beta for Concord.
There was, but there was,
few weeks
and it's a hero shooter, you know, so it's all right in that same vein. But this is a PlayStation Sony one. So the game came out on August 23rd. This has to be a record.
Oh God, yeah.
There is no way that this can't be a record. They are turning off the servers on September 6th.
Yep.
What? Like that turnaround time is crazy town. Like, you know, even with things that we have seen die quick, it's usually a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, that's usually when we see it. Dude, that was like less than 2 weeks. They're like,
nope, 2 weeks. 2 weeks to the day.
Wrap it up. Like, God bless. I did get a couple of things. One, this is a highly already memed on game. They did spend some money in marketing. The characters.
We're gonna have to get into. There's a lot with this game that I think is part of a larger conversation. That
I think that's part of it too, right? Like I think the game itself is more of the tidbit than like the conversation at large or surrounding it, right?
Oh yeah.
So, but I would like to bring up a couple of things. One, man, that game just looked like a nothing burger. Characters that were like weird alien dudes. I even watched the entire ad that I got pushed a lot on YouTube of like the guy pouring hot sauce into it. They were like at a diner. It was just so nothing burger. Character design was bad. The conversation was bad. Like it felt like a bad Joss Whedon kind of thing. Also, it never, even the day it launched, it didn't even crack 1,000 concurrent players on PC. Like I'm hoping that Sony doesn't get the wrong message here. That like PC people don't care. PC people care, but we don't want your garbage.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that will be because it bombed on PlayStation too. It's not like only PC ignored it.
But to that point, though, you then have other games like Bloodborne, which were so wildly successful. And what's PlayStation doing? Oh, here, let me take my thumb, shove it as far up my ass as possible, and then sit there on it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Or, well, more like 50.
Oh, it's way longer.
Yeah.
Way
But
longer.
yeah, you get my point.
PS3 fucking title.
We are almost, it was a 4 title, but we're almost on 10 years.
Right. Sorry. Like, but this is so like indicative of Sony just not
Oh, yeah.
reading the room again. Like you put out like finally you do a day and date and it's this bland piece of shit. I almost wonder if they knew, like they're looking at it and they were like, ooh, this probably ain't gonna do great.
Oh,
You know what? Drop a day and date with PC. Fuck it, who cares, right? Because
well, Helldivers was their first day and date.
well, I understand, but they didn't
Helldivers 2.
make Helldivers. You know what I'm saying? This was
Yeah,
an
but
in-house.
it's a Sony property. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. Helldivers is a
Yeah.
Sony property.
No, yeah,
No,
no. Sony. That is the first party property of Sony.
I don't think so, bro.
Sony absolutely owns Helldivers.
I don't think so. You should look it up.
Yep,
Just in
looking at it
case.
right now.
So
The team is independent. The
yes.
IP is Sony's.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a who gives a shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this is the interesting thing. So this was the actual drop of what they said. Concord fans, which maybe we should have not pluralized that, but okay. I had
thousands of us.
yeah, exactly. There are hundreds of us. We've been listening closely to your feedback, which I imagine that is also crickets. Since the launch of Concord on PS5 and PC, Firewalk is the name of the company. We want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. I'm assuming that's like the Rogues, their ship name is what I would assume is.
It's the ship on the box art of the game.
That's what I assumed.
Mm-hmm.
Your support and the
I thought it was the Concord because I thought that was the fucking title of the game. I thought they were referencing the
oh yeah, the ship
itself.
name. That would have been way
You would
smarter.
think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. Are we? Is he in a different building? Like, what is he? Okay.
What community?
Yeah. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6th, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. This was the last part that I wanted to talk about for this particular story. Sony isn't selling this game at all anymore, and they are issuing refunds to every single person who bought it,
including physical.
Including physical. What? Holy shit.
They're sending them back to the retailers that you bought it from to get a refund.
Yep.
Yeah. That is like legitimately unheard of. That is crazy. Especially for we haven't even hit the 2 weeks. So technically we got this announcement before 2 weeks. Like we got it like 9 days after launch. Like that is fucking insane, man. Yeah, I don't know. And so now I guess whenever you go to the stores pages, it just says announced.
Yeah, I was seeing depending on where you looked at it too. I think if you go to their website, it just gives you a 404 now.
Oh god, that's a bad sign. I hope this whole team doesn't get like shit canned because like this sounds like a Sony just being like,
"Yep,
welp." Like,
ironically too, the 404 has Astrobot, which is their game that comes out the day Concord goes offline.
Ugh.
So yeah, this thing is part of the larger conversation I want to have is that this is kind of some history on this game. This game has been in development for 8 years.
Oh my god.
I'm not kidding.
That's terrible.
At least no one knows the exact budget, but it's at least cost $100 million to make. They're part of the draw that they were trying to do with this game. One quick.
Don't do that afterwards.
They showed this 3 months ago for the first time on a PlayStation State of Play. So 8 years of development, $100 million at least to make. Incredibly expensive and high-tech motion capture work for the cutscenes that get released weekly to tell the story of the characters, which is okay.
Nothing burger.
Maybe you could have cut that immediately.
Yeah.
And saved some budget.
Mm-hmm.
The largest problem with this is that 8 years ago, this game kind of made sense. Like, I still think it wouldn't have done well, but 8 years ago, the market was there. Overwatch was it just won Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Fortnite still wasn't.
Yeah, 2016 was huge, but at the same time, what was the one that fucking the fucking Borderlands guys did that bombed miserably? Battleborn. Like, you know, like the problem is Activision Blizzard won the war before anyone else even showed up to the battlefield.
Well, and then Epic took over with Fortnite. Like, Fortnite is the biggest game in the world.
Right, but Fortnite's not a fucking hero shooter.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that in the same genre as...
You know what I'm saying?
These, yeah.
Like, if we're talking about specifically hero shooters, like Overwatch and Activision Blizzard paid to win that competition.
Oh, yeah.
There was so much advertising, and the art looked great. You know what I'm saying? It was a very cohesive idea. Like, and everyone else looked like they were shuffling to try to get that shit. Like,
absolutely.
you know.
And that's why it's like baffling that Sony would do this. Like, at some point, you just have to cut
your losses.
Not like, it sucks, but don't put the game out.
Yeah.
Like, figure something out. And so, yeah, like, this is such a... I had another game that I was going to also liken it to that just came out, that it's just, you're chasing these trends that...
It's like Babylon's Fall.
Oh, God.
They do, yeah, exactly.
There we
like,
go.
that game probably took like 4 years of development time. And like
100%.
This cycle, the way that this works, I mean, even you could even throw Redfall in there. Like,
yeah,
sure.
You know, it's a little more of like a story focused thing. It's less competitive and more multiplayer, but it's still hero based, online only.
Yep.
That game came out, it was 3 years too late.
Yeah.
This trend of like dumping millions of dollars, like hundreds of $1,000,000 on things that if you can get it out in 2 years, 3 years even, great.
Yeah, but it's not the film industry.
Oh,
you know?
Suicide Squad is another one.
Yeah.
That
live service.
Like,
yep.
Yeah, like
that's
no disrespect to Rocksteady, but Warner Brothers made them chase a trend that had died out already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or
but they were already
is so dominated by specific games that you cannot eke into. Fucking look at, I mean, Helldivers 2 came out this year. Why that was a success? Why would you eat in, like, you can't put out 2 live service online games with that much money. And like, and again, Helldivers is the right way to do it. That game probably cost a fraction of what Concord cost.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand.
But the thing is, though, I know we've said it on the show before, and I know I've mentioned it to my husband. We're thinking logically. We're not thinking as a top tier executive who is there to just make money, regardless of is this logical or is this not?
And the funny thing is, if like this is a double-edged sword too, right? Let's say you're a higher up. Okay, you see a project is struggling, right? No vision, no unique identity. Are you the one to pull the ripcord and be like, nope, we're not doing this, which means you have to answer to your bosses now higher up, or even the board, right? Yep. Even if you're the CEO, you still have to answer to the fucking board, because they're going to go, well, where the hell did the money go? You know, and like, why didn't this work? So this is the problem with this. This is going to happen. They are not going to get this this is fucking multiverses again. You know, This is another example of terrible upper management that is going to not take any of the blame, walk away with their jobs, and probably fire this entire fucking studio.
Oh
yeah. This studio won't be around much longer.
No, 100%.
Unfortunately,
100%. Whereas if you had stopped the production earlier, take a little bit of heat yourself. But dude, that's not who upper management is. They're worms. They're
Yep.
worms who want to make money for this fucking soulless conglomerate that they work for. It doesn't matter who it is. And they don't want to take the heat for anything. So I would be surprised if in 2, 3, 4 weeks, if we either hear, oh, it's, you know what, it's not coming back, or oh, it's on indefinite hiatus, or oh, it'll be back in 6 months. And how much can you actually change in 6 months? To go back to your Suicide Squad, like dude, you can't.
Not enough.
Video games is not a movie where you look at a thing and you film the thing and then you do some post production afterwards. That's it. Video games is so much more that needs to be done. You can't just like, oh, here was the problem. There was this little splinter. We pulled it out. It took us only 6 months, and now you're fine. Like, the title is great. That's just not how the industry works.
You have to rework
You have
everything.
to gut it.
Oh god,
You
yeah.
have to gut it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like it's just,
mean-
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, hell, even just with the little bit of learning that I've done following along some courses and tutorials in Unreal Engine for making a simple AI. It's like, okay, go from this like small little chunk of code to now, good lord, it's blowing out of proportion.
And
You
let
can't
alone
change it all.
just like what are you gonna do? Try to take the hero shooter out of the hero shooter?
Yeah.
Or worse, try to take this lump of Play-Doh that you made and squish it through to get it to be a piece of spaghetti and make it into a single player. Like, no, dude, it's just not gonna work, because at the end of the day, it was just a bad product that should have been stopped. It was being memed on before it came out.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, read the fucking
At the
room.
very least, it should have been a free-to-play game.
Yes,
Oh,
that was
God,
what
yeah.
Aaron and I were talking about. If it had been free to play, you probably had a better shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
they would have had way better numbers. Like,
But
would
you
they
would have
been
also
great?
had to. Then they would have had to
But-
make some sort of like business model that would have had to be good but not egregious. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a tightrope now to do anything that's free to play, especially because there's hundreds of them. You know, right?
But knowing that you're going into the hero shooters genre, which everything else there is free to play, season passes, things like
Except for-
that, it's like, you think your game is going to stand that much head and shoulders above every other game out there that you
the price
don't need
point,
to
too.
do season pass
Yeah.
or
Because,
anything like that? It's like, no,
The
you're going to
price
fail.
point for Overwatch was knowing that it was Activision. And by the way, those servers on the first fucking day were still fucked up.
Yep.
But that was worth the price point, right? Everything was unlocked off rip. Like, that was fine, right? Like, I still think $60 was maybe a little egregious, but it
'cause
sold
it was
crazy.
It was what it was. It was 60 on console, but it was cheaper on PC.
50, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
50 on PC. Which again is fine, right? Because most people buy. It's not like anyone was buying physical for, you know. So like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. This whole thing
Yeah.
is just like
40 on PC, 60 on console.
right. Like, which again, that $20 difference is a little weird. But again, I get it. It's only
Super.
digital, so okay. Out of all the lessons the companies could have learned, maybe that one would have been a good one to walk away with.
Overwatch was physical on console.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I thought you just said it was only.
No. I was saying
Sorry.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this. Like, I cannot believe literally 9 days. 9 days. Do we think that like we have a speed run that can beat 9 days this year for a game that might
Oh, no.
fucking like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
that would be crazy if we got one this year. Although I'm thinking I would put down a gentleman's dollar next year. I bet we beat 9 days. I bet it's 8 days. Like, I bet there's something that comes out that's 8 fucking days. Yeah.
What even, like, the only thing I can think of coming out anytime soon is Marvel.
The problem is
Rivals.
the reason we
That's
can't
gonna
think of
probably
anything
do
coming
well.
out is because that's how fucking bland fucking Concord was. I
Mhm.
didn't know its name until
Yeah.
literally it launched, and I was like, Concord, that's what it was. And then the next thing I saw in the news was it's shutting down. Like,
Yeah.
2 days ago. Okay.
Yep.
Huh. Glad I
The
didn't spend any time.
Abs-
the sad part is for me, every single time I saw like that commercial or any information on it, I'm like, oh, this bland looking game.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Oh, this generic thing. I didn't
Yeah.
even know Sony had put any money into it. That's how little I knew or cared about it.
Oh yeah.
I know
Yeah,
the sad
like,
part
I-
is they put a lot of money into
I
it.
know they did.
I
know
I
they
knew
did.
it was
They put
Sony.
so
It's just
much
that
money
because I want to say it
into it.
was
I
like
didn't even.
I want to say like the
Ugh.
very first trailer we saw was actually like video game VGAs.
Probably.
No,
Oh,
it was a
last
state
year or
of- it
something
was
like
a
that.
state of- It was a state of play 3 months ago was the reveal. of the
Okay,
game.
we are now spending too much time
Yeah,
on a video game that will not exist in like,
True.
like let's move
the
on.
end of the week.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
We're spending more
Um,
time on this game than Sony themselves spent on it. So let's
Mm.
Well, considering we're talking about Sony and spending money and well wasting money, it's you know what? I'm gonna save that one for next week, actually, because I guarantee you more will develop on that one.
Okay. Well then why don't you just pick another one?
Let's hear which one was it. You know what? Here, let's do a pick me up one.
Yeah.
A good one. For those of you who don't know, GDQ or Games Done Quick has been around for quite a long time, actually. And since then, it's all been under the ownership of Mike Uyama, who has recently officially stepped down as leadership of GDQ. And it has now fallen on to someone by the name of Matt Merkel, who is the who now owns majority and managing director of GDQ, who says he's going to keep things going in the same direction that GDQ has been going already. So hopefully that's good. He's also effectively directing how things are going as a team with Jason Deng, who is director of technology, and Ashley Farkas, probably butchering the last name, who is the business director. Honestly, I'd say this is good because, I mean, so far GDQ in their history has raised 51.7 million, and they've already got their next event scheduled for the 5th of January for that whole week. It's going to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
And on top of that, last week was Flame Fatales, which is the Frame Fatales subgroup of GDQ. It's a all-female, all-femme speedrunning community. They had their summer marathon, which they the Fatales marathons are only they're 7 or 8 days, but they're only half the day. So they're only like from noon or 1 until midnight or something like that. And they raised 118,000 for a Malala Fund. So that's good.
That's awesome.
Like I said,
Yeah, I saw that.
short
I
and
saw
sweet.
that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I heard you started the conversation. I was like, I can go take a pee.
No disrespect or anything there, GDQ.
No.
Just
Yeah,
He already
just
knew
know-
the info.
I knew you guys. I knew you guys had
Yeah.
this. I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
yeah.
Mm.
Man. All right. Well, I feel like I should have maybe gone in the middle there because I feel like my first one that I wanted to talk about is kind of related to Concord, but also kind of like the flip side of it, in that we normally don't like to talk about layoffs too much here because we've made the joke, I believe, that if we talked about layoffs every show, we would never have anything else to talk about.
Yeah.
However, we're kind of in a weird. There were a couple weird ones this week that I wanted to bring up. One is that this actually happened today, in that the team making the Until Dawn remake, everyone's favorite remake in this show, they just laid people off before the game was even finished or released. And then on top of that, another weird one is I want to get the names here,
The Vision of Mana.
but NetEase just shut down Oka Studios who just released Visions of Mana. They literally shut them down the day they shipped a game. A game, by the way, that has the Square Enix name on it, big Square Enix property that people have been, the big RPG fans have been looking forward to a new Mana.
I've been looking forward to it.
The first one in like 15 years.
Mhm.
And it got really good reviews. It's been reviewing well. This, like, what? How is this industry going to sustain itself?
Dude, you know what's
continuously?
going to happen? Literally, they're not going to be able to find. This is like fast food joints at this point. They're not going to be able to find workers anymore. Like, they're just
Yeah.
not. Like, no one is going to want to work for any of these fucking mega corporations because they are treating it as if you have filmed a movie, get out. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
again, that's just not
Like
how.
they're all expendable.
Right.
Yep.
And the next time, if you want to do a project, it's just going to be able to like, be done. Like, and that is just not at all correct. Like, in the least. Like, especially if you think about like a company like I always think of Monolith Studios. Like, I really like Monolith Studios. I can take two examples here. One, Monolith, and two, Raven Software. Raven survived for years and years making excellent first-person shooters, right? Monolith was all over the place. They were able to do a whole bunch of different genres, all of pretty good quality. Like I still like Monolith, but then fucking WB came along and was like, nom, 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 nom. And they put out fucking two very good Lord of the Rings games, and now they're just like absorbed them and they're not truly Monolith anymore because they like I just don't know.
They're making a Wonder Woman game.
Yep.
With
good
the
timing for
Nemesis
that
system.
too.
Yeah.
Yep. Good
Yeah.
timing for that too. Like,
Yeah, right.
ooh.
Yeah.
I hate this idea. We've hated this for years. We made this joke about EA literally since 2006, 2008, right?
Oh yeah.
EA would buy a studio and fucking make them put out something that wasn't even in their comfort zone and then fucking close the studio down when it didn't do as well. And now, weirdly, EA hasn't been doing that as much. EA also hasn't been acquiring companies as much.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They've slowed down, but every other company has ramped up to that same level. Just buy everything in the universe. Something will fucking land. If you throw a shit ton of diarrhea against the wall, one nugget of corn will stick. That'll make us $10 gajillion. And then we just work with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's trauma.
Well, and then they learn that the lesson they take away is that, well, I know we just bought all these things, but their thing didn't work, so we can just get rid of them.
Right.
We don't need them.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And it's not a sustainable model.
No.
It's just
not how you nurture talent. It's not how you get good games.
I think like over this next couple of, as long as we all don't die in climate fucking change and fucking coronavirus and whatever, I think that what we're going to end up seeing over the next, like probably, let's call it 15, 20 years is a big changing of the guard. I think Larian is going to be one of the ones that comes in big. I think they are going, like they have now opened a fourth studio. They clearly have their eye on like but they're doing 3 projects. That's huge for them. They had a 500-person team working on BG3. So they have just been building steadily. Like I'm just waiting for 15 years down the line when they start doing the same thing. Buying companies and then shutting them down. We're like, man, I remember when Larian was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because everything is in cycles. Like, everything is in cycles. Like, that's just my opinion. But I guess this might be nice in this next 15 years because we'll see more smaller size studios becoming medium sized studios. Shit, things like Steel Wool, the guys who make Five Nights at Freddy's, they have expanded and they make lots of projects. And like, you know, they're still kind of keeping it tight. Like that's what I think. We're going to see the rise of like, because again, AAA doesn't mean anything to any of us anymore.
Yep.
We've already tapped out on graphics, bitch. Where are you going to go now?
Apparently we're going to go to quadruple A and then
no, we're not,
totally go back to indie.
Instantly.
Yeah.
It was on sale for $15 over the summer. So I think we're gonna see a rise of new studios becoming actual. Like we'll stop thinking them as like double A studios, and they'll kind of become triple A
Yeah.
studios. You know,
Yeah.
I think we're just in this
But
really
AAA, the
awful.
meaning of AAA has to change, and I
Yes,
think it
Mhm.
will.
that's exactly right.
Yep.
It actually has to go back to quality.
Yeah.
Like that's what AAA. That's the difference. It has to
Yeah,
go.
because it literally means budget now. That's
Mhm.
all it means.
Yep.
It does
Mhm.
it. Sometimes they get lucky and good games come out,
Yep. Like yeah, sure. Like,
but
but
most of the time it just means
money.
budget.
It's
Mhm.
dollars.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
and I think it's gonna
Concord is by all means a AAA game.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
8 years in development. Eight
Oh, yeah.
years, dude. If I had that
Eight
kind of money, I would have made
years.
8 games.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I would have made 8 games. Like, or shit,
Mhm.
I would have made 4 pretty goddamn good games. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
so I think that's what we're gonna see. The only unfortunate thing is that I think the reason why it's gonna take so long is because there is such a flood of indie stuff because it is the bar to entry is so low.
Mhm.
You know, um, a single person or 3 people can crank games out now, like
Yep.
which means there's just more to flood the pipes of diarrhea. And yes, really good shit does always float to the top, but there's tons of middle ground, like shit that like crap that I love that no one else gives a shit about, like that I think are fantastic that I just don't think are for everybody. But that's when
Dude,
the
the fact that
homogenization starts happening.
one of my favorite games that came out last year was that fucking RoboCop, that double A RoboCop
Yeah.
game. Like
Yeah.
that game is a walking tank simulator and it's cool as fuck and it's
Yep.
low budget. It was better than a vast majority of the things I played last
I
year.
mean, I don't know if
That-
better is like the right word. It's more like, did you have fun? Like, you
yeah,
remember that
it's
thing?
more fun. It's more
Right.
fun.
Like,
Yeah.
did you remember that thing that we're all not supposed to have anymore? Like,
Yeah.
everything's supposed to be like grimy and serious
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
fuck fun. Like, no, like, don't have that. Like, that's the kind of thing that I think we're going to see the rise of more frequently over the next 15 years. The only thing that sucks is we're going to see this continue for probably another 5 of smaller studios getting
Yeah.
bought up by Microsoft, Sony, fucking NetEase, whatever, pick one. And then
Yeah.
them make one title that doesn't reach whatever unrealistic fucking bar they come up with, they get shit canned. And like, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe we should start making a
Yeah,
collective of cool people. Fuck the numbers.
Well-
just make cool people shit. Like, who cares?
One thing I want to also kind of mention, I saw this really great tweet earlier, kind of about everything that's been happening. And it's like the sheer amount of talent, IPs, like amazing development teams that are just lost to history over the last 10 years
Yeah.
because of
Oh, yeah.
chasing this imaginary golden cloud that will never 1 out of 100 actually hits it.
100?
Mm.
I go
There's
way higher.
Oh, yeah.
and it's funny too because on one hand the amount of like good games that come out hasn't slowed down. There's still fantastic games coming out on a regular basis,
Obviously.
but the sheer amount of just
Shit.
absolute wasted potential that these
I mean-
studios just go, well, all right, cool, well, we don't
Like-
need them anymore.
I'm not trying to make this about me in any way, shape, or form, but like that's the reason why, for the most part, when I stream shit, I don't stream like this is why nobody gives a shit about my streams too, right? Because it like A leads to B. I pick fucking games that I think are amazing that never get any fucking highlights. You know what I'm saying? They don't become
Yeah.
popular by streamer standards. They don't become a mainstream game, But then I'm like, dude, look at this. This game is
Yeah.
fucking fun as hell. 80s car theft simulator? That game is rad. Like, I love shit like that. But like, people just aren't like, and again, I will do this really fast. Not everybody is like us, like if you are like more of a like normal person, you only probably play 1 or 2 games a year. Like, like I play COD, I play FIFA, I play fucking Madden, like, which I understand. But like anyone who thinks of themselves as like, oh god, it's such a douchey thing, a gamer, like you should be trying really hard to expand your borders. And shit, even that can fail. Rich just was playing an entire game on stream that at the end he gave a 6.5 to. You know, he was like, ah, it's not a great game.
Oh,
But
you
he
mean
gave
Rebel
it a
Transmute?
yes.
No, that was a
Yep.
4.
Oh, it was okay. That's terrible. That's terrible. But like, at least you gave it a shot, right? Like, you know. And how much was Rebel Transmute, by the way?
$15.
What did you have $15 worth of fun?
Yeah. See, that's
Yeah,
not bad.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, maybe that's what like. Maybe we should eliminate, you know, number scores altogether and go. Did you have the value
Oh yeah,
of the
number
game?
scores are the
Worthless.
Yeah.
Worthless,
Oh, yeah.
right? But like maybe that's how we should start doing it when we like review things. Like we go, I had that
who
much
is it
dollar
that-
value worth of fun.
who is it? They have a YouTube channel where it's buy or don't buy is what I can't remember who that is. But that's their only rating system. It's either buy it or don't buy it. And they go into great detail as to
Yeah.
why they
Yeah.
I
would go
completely
one way or
understand
the
that.
other,
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's no, like
I
number
completely
scores
understand
are
that.
the biggest light on Metacritic is like the biggest offender of why,
Oh god, yeah.
you know, not the biggest, but it's a big part of why things are the way they are with games and things getting sequels or, you know, even getting made in the first place. Like
Okay, wait.
the idea of numbered score, it
It's
tells you
so
nothing.
ancient. It's just ancient. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's ancient. Do you want to hear?
Yeah,
Do you want to
yeah.
do you want to do a funny story?
Sure.
Okay. So,
Sure.
do any like okay, talking perfectly in this exact what a good transition. Does anybody remember the game Influx? It was a PC title. You were a little ball. It's like a physics platformer, kind of like laid back, relaxed game. Okay. It came out in
Looking it up,
2013.
'cause I do not.
Okay. It came out in 2013 on Steam. And it's literally just like you're a little ball and you like go and do little ball things. And it's slow and relaxed and laid back, and I like that title. So
As little balls do.
as little balls do. You're just doing like a little ball does. So here's the funny thing. Basically, the guy who made it, Joe Wintergreen, is going to be putting out I guess this would be, I don't know, it's not a reboot. I guess it's just a HD remake of it. And it also Influx redo, that is so fucking basic, bitch. Anyways, so he puts the store up on the Steam page, and he sent in the build because, you know, there is a Steam, like, you know, check system just like every other fucking
Yeah.
game, like, you know, platform. And they sent, this is the tweet he sent out. I'm just gonna this 11-year-old game failed Steam's build review, and one of the issues was that it seems identical to the game you put out 11 years ago. Explain why this should be its own product. Wait, I'm sorry, what? So he's doing you know, a remake.
Yeah.
Not even just an HD upres of this game, but Steam of all people, who doesn't give a shit about what goes on to their fucking platform at all. I can tell you as a fact because I have a game on there and it's a piece of shit. Like, they don't care. They want their 30% and that's what they want. So he it is basically he switched from Unreal 3 to Unreal 5. It's just an up-res, more pretty version of the original game. That's the funniest thing I've ever. And he was like, okay, so this is the last part that he said. I was expecting a Steam review, not a Steam review. That is amazing.
That's awesome.
Like, And it's super funny because, like, again, like a Steam review. Do you know how much time they took on our Steam review for a game where you basically make and sell drugs? Do you know how long it was?
I'm
12
guessing,
hours.
yeah,
It was
I
a
was gonna
12-hour
say,
turnaround. It was a 12-hour turnaround.
Yeah, I was gonna say a day, but
Yeah,
wow,
the
not
12
even
hours.
a whole
I
day.
was gonna
went-
say less than a day.
Yeah, 12 hours. They go into the code, they make sure there's nothing malicious in it, and they were like, whatever, dude. Yep, nailed it. We were like, okay, well, that did, because we all worked, for EA. So, like, when you go through Sony certification or Nintendo or Xbox, that takes sometimes up to like 2 weeks for each one of those platforms, and varying degrees of like, oh, you can't have this, and dude, Steam's like, yep, good shit, bro, and then they just whapped us on the button. It's like the button's now there for you can just hit for go public, whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter. We don't give a fuck. And this guy, his adorable little roll the ball around game that he just wanted to make the graphics prettier. They were like, you're gonna have to explain yourself here, sir. Like, what? So I can make a panty sniffer game, but as long as like that's very okay. You guys have weird fucking things that you give a shit about, Steam. Like, yeah. I just thought that was funny.
They
And-
apparently give a shit about the
Yeah.
balls.
yes.
Yeah, I'm curious how much they must have. How much work did he actually put in on it? That's what I'm
He
curious about.
converted it from Unreal 3 to Unreal 5. That is not a 1-to-1 conversion. Like, that is a lot of work, in all honesty, in the back
okay.
end. Like, it is. Like, but the funny part is,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
so you said this this grass texture is not good enough. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't understand, like, why it's, and I like that he took it
So
so
that- yeah, that's-
lightheartedly. Like, like I was expecting
Yeah.
a Steam
yeah.
review, which is ostensibly nothing, and then he got a Steam review, like a review of his game. Like, they were like, you gotta
Yeah.
prove to us why this is different. Like, what? Like, okay, very bizarre. Yeah, super funny.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's tricky because like I think of things like for like Final Fantasy 14, for example, is getting a graphics update. But that's not going to be like a different SKU. That's just going to be the game. That's the one you buy when you buy 14. It's always going to have that new update. So it is interesting that he's obviously, yes, it's a lot of work, but it's also like he's not redesigning.
No,
or, like,
it's
no.
dude, but I mean that's an
anything.
that's an HD upgrade. Like we've been going through this for like 10 years now. What are you talking about? Like there's so many games that are like we just made it a little prettier.
Yeah.
It's been like, dude, look
Yeah.
at fucking Grand Theft Auto
Mhm.
5. It's been on 3 generations. Like
Yep.
that, so what?
I
Like
know,
the
yeah.
piece, like I don't know.
Still
That is
crazy.
fucking funny to me. That is fucking funny to me. I don't know. I just
Yeah.
thought I thought that was a funny story, and it was cool that he was taking it in such like a lighthearted like
Oh yeah.
manner.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
That was mine. Like, see, and we whipped through like what 4 already? Yeah. Okay, we're doing
Yeah.
much faster on these little snippet ones.
Yep.
All right, Rich,
Mhm.
go ahead, buddy.
All right. So one thing that's happened since last time we chatted was Gamescom.
Mhm.
Basically the only and
Mhm.
biggest, well, not only, but the biggest convention for games industry stuff that's still out there.
Yep.
They typically kind of do an award show for games and whatnot as well. Last year there was a best Nintendo Switch game. And this year they started breaking out all the consoles into their own stuff, and guess what?
That's
What
weird.
console didn't get one?
Switch.
Because there weren't enough entries.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, Switch, Nintendo, you're sitting here saying, hey, we want our best Nintendo Switch game. Here's your, like, 2 options. It's like, you're gonna need to add a few more just to make it seem like you're not favoriting one of them.
I mean, to be fair, this was kind of a more quiet year, and the Switch
Yeah.
has gotten so many ports and multi-console like releases this year. I
Right.
kind of understand.
Yeah,
It's the
they've
end of the
remade
generation
a
for them,
lot of
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
this last
Yeah.
It's the end of the generation for them at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, it's just funny that it's like, okay, last year they had Tears of the Kingdom basically sweeping up with best audio, best gameplay, most epic game, best Nintendo game, and this year it's just like, yeah, we're just gonna like call and say, hey, we're here still. Bye.
I mean, I get it. Like, think about it this way too. Have you ever noticed that valuable games for each console are always in the last like year, maybe two of consoles? Literally, like that's just the history of it because people, when it gets to the end of a console generation, are kind of over it and are waiting for the next thing. So obviously, the like, owners of the console, Sony, Microsoft, Xbox, they're not dropping bangers on the last year. Hell, this year, Nintendo had to tell us for 2 directs in a row, there's no news on this one about the Switch 2. Just, we're not talking about that yet. But everyone knows that next year is going to be the Switch 2.
Controlling that
really hard.
Yeah.
Like, so like it's not a surprise to me that like they're playing stuff so close to the chest. And I would be surprised if the rumors are true that the Switch 2 is automatically backwards compatible, and these titles that are going to be late in 2025, I would be surprised if a lot of these titles weren't on both generations, being like Switch 2 and the original Switch. I'd be surprised by that.
Yeah.
Paul looks like he is frozen.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Yes, he is.
Partially the other reason why I think some of the more valued games that come out towards the end of a console generation cycle are mainly because the first year or so or 2 years, devs are kind of sitting here going, how do we do all the fancy shit with the new hardware now, kind of a thing. Granted, they're already looking into that well before they even, like, the new generation comes out, because they want to obviously have something on hand as soon as it launches. But it's still kind of always a thing of, it's like, yes, the like lead engineers know the ins and outs of the new hardware, like even before day one, but that information then has to trickle down to all the programmers, all the developers, all of that, which takes time.
And usually, a lot of times when it's the last year of a console, the quality is quite good for all the titles that do come out, but they publish them. Traditionally, they print them in a lower number because they know, like, okay, not everyone is going to want to buy the little
end
Samsung,
of generation kind of thing,
because like, or even when generations overlap, right? Like again, let's talk about the Nintendo. Little Samsung is a good example. The Super Nintendo had already come out, so why bother publishing 100,000 copies of this game? Like, when it's just probably not going to do as well on that console in particular. Oh, is it just BG3, Paul? What an asshole. No, I was just being a douche.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sitting here kind of doing some Googling on the side here. As far as things like, when did Chrono Trigger come out? 95. Which is towards the end of the Super Nintendo
still in the
era.
heyday, though. That's still the heyday, though.
96 was when the N64 came out.
Yeah, I know. But the N64 came out with fucking 2 titles.
True.
It launched with 2 titles.
The N64 was also a massive change of programming, too.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like, if we were, we gotta like look at everything from every conceivable angle.
Oh yeah.
You're right. Like, because that was the first change from 2D to 3D.
Yep.
Realistically. Paul, if your PC can continue.
I was gonna say one little disclaimer about the Gamescom thing. Nintendo wasn't at Gamescom, which is why there was no Nintendo award. The company has to be present and present their own games at the awards at Gamescom in order to be considered for awards. So it's a little
weird.
to be.
Well, see, that's the thing is though, On top of that,
It's really
it's
weird.
also the thing of Gamecom broke out the consoles into their own, like, hey, best PlayStation game, best Xbox game, best Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nintendo
but
didn't
if you're
even
not
submit.
there, they just don't.
Right, but like
Yeah,
Nintendo
because
didn't even
Nintendo wasn't
submit.
present at Gamescom.
I'm just saying that's weird too, though, because
Yeah.
like that
I know.
kind of makes me
I'm
like look
just-
down a little bit on the
I'm just saying
Gamescom.
that's different
Committees,
than
yeah.
Gamescom. Yeah, that's different than Gamescom going.
Sure.
We're not doing a Nintendo
Sure.
thing because there aren't enough games.
Sure.
It
But,
was
I mean, it's
Nintendo
also
didn't
weird-
show up.
It's also weird for me to like have sex with somebody and be like, "Hey, I was here and I'm giving myself the best award." Like, does that make sense? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't really.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At the
Paul,
end
do you
of the
want
day,
to go
it's clear
next?
What was gonna win? Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, the internet in the house just got really weird there. So let's see. I did get an Ethernet cable, so for
Are you
Saturday.
hardlining it?
Anywho, yeah. Well, not right now, but
No,
I
I get
will
it.
when we play. Anywho,
I got it.
different. Yeah. So today, actually, I believe, yeah, September 3rd, Capcom announced that the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection and the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 are coming to Xbox after all.
Yeah.
Originally, when both of those things were announced, Capcom was completely skipping the Xbox ecosystem. I guess a big part of this is something to do with the framework that Capcom uses for these collections. It's kind of, I guess, a similar reason why there's not a native PlayStation 5 version of the collections. There's only a PS4 backwards compatibility. But they are coming. They're just coming also way later than the other versions of the game, which is really interesting as well. The reason I kind of bring this up too is that on top of this, kind of plays into the whole kind of weird messaging that Microsoft has kind of had lately about their games, where it's very kind of just, we're gonna drop news, when we have it, kind of thing. And so another an indie game called Inotria. The developers announced today that they are delaying their game indefinitely from the Xbox ecosystem because that, I guess, the indie team, like the people that oversee and communicate with indie devs at Microsoft, haven't reached out to them in 2 months. According to the developer, obviously. There are always two sides to a story. But more what I was trying to get into is the kind of weird, this weird messaging kind of lately with third-party support on Xbox. Because that's kind of weird. I don't know. I would be really unhappy if my version of a game got announced months after the other versions were already announced, and then I was being told that that version is coming out way later as well. Yeah, don't really have much more than that, but it's just kind of weird. Weird messaging. I don't know what's going on over there, where they, like as a big publisher, I would not want that to be the narrative
Thank
about
you.
my releases.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of weird. But it is coming, so that's cool. I was really surprised in the first place when it was announced that it wasn't coming. It's Marvel vs. Capcom. That thing's gonna sell very well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, like, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God.
boy.
Oh God. My chat is going insane. Brag about it. Oh God damn it. That isn't a classic Aquino quote. Fucking brag about it. God damn it.
It is.
I thank you. I didn't mean to interrupt. But thank you all for saying thank you or happy birthday or whatever, my anniversary, whatever the hell they call it. What do they call it? Affiliate anniversary. They should really come up. They should come up with a cuter name for that. Like, I don't know. That's terrible. Fucking brag about it.
What do you expect? It's Twitch. They expect
I know,
us to come up with all the content and ideas and them take claim for it.
I've been here for fucking, I don't know, like I've been here for 3 years now, 4 years, like, and that it said that today was my anniversary. Well, I guess that's a tiny upgrade, so cool. And Name was here, and like Kay was here, and they got to say, happy anniversary, so that's nice.
Cool.
I'm just weird about anniversary stuff. Apparently, it makes me a little uncomfortable. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go get a beer. Finish your fucking statement, Paul. I'm sorry that I had to interrupt. Chat was kind of going crazy.
No, it's all
Affiliate
good.
anniversary? That's terrible.
That's
That's terrible.
really
Come on, we gotta come up
the-
with something cuter than
honestly,
that.
Affiliate. Oh
Anniversary?
yeah,
I don't know. I got nothing right this
affiliate-versary is
second.
not
Like
good.
that's it's hard word to like work in, right? And putting versary at the end. Ugh.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
easy.
But yeah, I don't know. This is a weird, like, kind of slowly growing trend with Microsoft right now, where they're very, on one hand, you have Sony, who's like, I have no idea what the lineup is for the next, any given amount of time after Astrobot comes out this week. And then you have Microsoft, where it's like, okay, well, it might come out on our console, but if it does, it's going to be later. But then what comes out we're going to put out later, maybe on other consoles too. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's really weird. And I don't know what's going on there. On top of that, too, there was the Phil Spencer interview. Was it today or something, where he was talking about how he has all these like regrets about games that Microsoft let slip through their fingers. And two of the examples that he used that were really weird was Grand Theft Auto 3 and Guitar Hero 1, specifically 1. And
I mean,
was he
Yeah.
there when those came out?
he might not have
I guess
been
he's
like
been
that
at
high
Microsoft for a
up.
really
Yeah,
long time.
exactly.
Yeah, definitely not that high up yet to make that kind of call. But
So
I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. Weird messaging all around from everybody.
And
So in other words, another
one
day
way
that
or the
ends in
other,
Y
it's
for big corporations everywhere.
yeah. So my next one is literally this is my notes for the next one.
Brag
My
about it.
Steam account gets hacked. Tell the story, and don't forget about the money. That is the entire
Oh.
storyline. So there's the hard and fast notes. So I'm just gonna talk about this because it bothered me, and this annoys me. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, Steam, you imperfect bunch of bastards. But I just wanted to talk about it. So the other day, Rich and I are sitting here. I'm going to admit something on stream that I still don't love admitting, but I got a personal message from somebody on Discord that had the Steam banner, and it said, "Hey, I don't even remember. Actually, I'm gonna bring it up. Because I still have it. So here it is on my stream. You can see a gift of $20 from the Steam community. Streamiversary is canon. Okay, Streamiversary. Okay, that's better. I got this message from an individual person that I do know, that I was already friends with, like, that you can see, like, oh, I kind of blew him up a little bit. But it was a $20 gift card from the Steam community. So I clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, it went right to the Steam page, like not the app page, but the web browser version of Steam. You know what I'm talking about, everybody?
Yep.
Good. As I was there, it looked exactly the same as the Steam page. Log in, every picture, literally no difference. The only things that I noticed that were different was at the top, because I thought about this later. So it had the Steam URL, but there was like a couple of extra numbers at the end that I didn't really remember. I never use the fucking the web version of Steam. Right. Why the fuck would I? Like, I use the app.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, I use the app. It's like, just log in and you get this $20. It didn't even say that, actually. It just was like, it had the login page. I was like, all right, cool. Bet. Logged in. The instant I logged in, my account got hacked. Here's the annoying thing. Two annoying things of this part. One, I got my email hacked instantly, and my Steam page, obviously hacked. So I got two things hacked. So let's move on. I am now trying to recover all this bullshit. I instantly go to Steam because I recognize instantly, once I hit fucking log in, that it wasn't behaving quite exactly the same as I remembered it. So I open the Steam app, I try to log in. My ID, my password instantly doesn't work. It's a bot farm of this fucking shit. All right, well, that's fucking annoying. So I go to my profile because I can still access it, because at that point, the app is still up on I'm already logged in, and I go and I click on my profile. I go to my profile page, and it shows my email address that is associated with that account. It is not my email address. They had already rerouted it. Why is fucking Discord running like such dog water too? Why is this running at 3 frames? God bless. Anyways, sorry. So now I see the email and I'm like, mother fucking son of a bitch. A, it makes you feel stupid. B, it I fell for a phishing scam. But it was so sophisticated that I don't quite feel bad. Dude, that web page looked exactly like the Steam login store. You know what I'm saying? The actual web page. Which frustrates the shit out of me that this shit just exists. And Valve, being Valve, did Paul get kicked again?
Yeah, probably.
Jesus fucking Christ. Anyways, right. They are this is legit, they were working hard to get this fucking scam. So I fucking put in a ticket. Steam was really, really good. The turnaround was less than 12 hours, which is great. And hey, he's back. So less than 12 hours. Great. Cool. I had $11 in my wallet, and it was actually $11 from buying Tiny Tina. Yep. That was what it was, which is kind of funny. But I was saving the $11 because I was like, hey, Space Marines 2 drops on next Tuesday, whatever. In that fucking amount of time, this fucking dirtbag hacker fuck bought an item on Valve's marketplace, a hood from Dota 2, for $10.49, because that's one of the values you can buy things at. So now I own a very common hood for a game that I have never once played. I have never downloaded. So I send a fucking second ticket to Valve and I say, hey, I just want to let you know, I would like my $11.01 back. It's such a low amount of money. I was hacked. You already have the proof, but I sent them here because, the nice thing is when you send stuff to Valve, it's a drag and drop. So I drag in these two. I even took a screenshot of all the things, and I just was like, hey, here it is, here it is, here it is. So I get back a message today. And I would like to fucking that's not the visual. Oh, that was for a later thing. I would like to fucking and you know what? It doesn't matter. He basically goes, hey, so we can't refund anything on the Steam marketplace because that would require access to their wallets, and that would be very risky, I think is the word he used. So instantly, I was like, okay, I'm not getting my $10 back. It's not about the $10, in all honesty. You know what it's about? That it's so fucking easy to get your shit hacked in Steam, and how quickly the turnaround is that guy just probably has 100,000 of these whatever cheapy items. He instantly goes in the marketplace. Dude, that means there is a actual transition that Valve could follow to be like, here is a guy who got hacked. Immediately, he went and bought an item for a game he is never, dude, that is as blatant as it could possibly be. And then it's sold to this guy in a marketplace for that money, which is, the IRS does not need to be called, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Okay. This is not a forensics fucking type like investigation. But the thing that I thought of afterwards was, oh my God, dude, Paul's internet connection is so bad, it's dragging down all of Discord. Like, that is how bad that connection is. So the thing that I started thinking about was, dude, if this is such a fucking problem, then why don't fucking transitions happen on the marketplace, get locked into an account for 24 to 48 hours before it takes into effect? Right? Like, now I know the answer. Yeah. You know what the answer is? Steam wants money. Give me money now, ma'am. And if you are online and you're on the marketplace and you buy an item from a guy, like a knife from CSGO, right, for $100 because you're drunk, Steam gets 30% of that sale.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You wake up, you have to deal with that. Steam doesn't give a fuck. Valve does not give a shit. But, like, it just proves how dog water of a, like, perfect system. People, like, suck Gabe's, they're just glazing Gabe from tits to stern, you know? And I'm like, this just proves kind of how not infallible Steam is by any scope of the imagination. It's very frustrating. It is very frustrating. On the upside, right, here it is. I don't keep a lot of money in my Steam wallet. And this is my PSA. Don't keep a lot of money in your Steam wallet. Use your, like, just buy things. Don't keep money in your Steam wallet. Because it was only $10, but that fucking piece of shit was like instantly like, hey, I just made $10. You know? So there you go. There is the entirety of my story.
I'm kind of surprised Steam doesn't have some sort of policy or like slush fund for when these specific instances happen.
So that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking, dude, it's $10. Valve will just refund me the money. No. Blue said, for me on my Steam wallet balance for market are in pending for small balances, at least for 2 days. That is not how it worked for me. Paul definitely should go to audio. A lot of stuff is delayed for a week before it can be acted on. I know, but because it's ostensibly a transfer from one account to another. I just think it's terribly designed. Like, it's just not well designed at the end of the day. You're right. It should be basically like, so like none of us know because we're fucking, well, you might know because you're not a broke piece of shit. When you buy a house, something goes into escrow, right?
Yep.
That's what that is. Like, Steam should have a system like escrow where you put some money down, but then the other guy has to equal or like make good, I guess it would be the easiest way to explain that, right? Like, so I don't know. Like, I wish that like that system wasn't so easily exploitable. That is so, and Valve just went, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so cool. I'm thinking that reminds me of a villain from Ghost in the Shell, the guy who's skimming money from people's accounts. And yes, right.
Yep.
That's exactly correct. That is exactly in Ghost in the Shell. There was a guy who was skimming accounts, but it wasn't even a single penny. He was doing the third decimal place.
Yep.
But the third decimal place, if you do it over hundreds of thousands of times,
it adds up.
Like, right, it does add up. And yeah, this guy only got $10 off me. But if I was one guy, and again, like, I'm gonna show you once again, like, how fucking, and it was a buddy of mine. Look how fucking legit this looks. And I really do want to click on this again just to show you guys, like, okay, hold on. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. I won't sign in or anything. Here, I'm going to click right here. Boop. Yep. Visit site. Oh my God. Russian. It's already taken down. Look at right on my screen.
Yep. That's Cyrillic.
This link from this Steam community gift card pay literally was the entire. Oh my god, that is so infuriating, dude. That is so infuriating. God bless America. That man, that is really frustrating. And also, I changed my fucking one of my passwords. You guys won't know fucking how I did it, but like fuck hackers, and now I'm gonna have to rechange it to fuck Russians because now I'm fucking pissed off at Russia. Like I should have known that it was Russians all along. Like fucking like Agatha Harkness. It was Russians all along. Like, and then it's just like a Russian strangling a dog in front of me. God damn it, that annoys me.
my God.
But at least I had the proof and I got to show you guys, like, and honestly, I laid my soul bare because that really did make me feel dumb and I'm fucking annoyed. But whatever, at the end of the day, I turned it all around and I lost $10.
Yeah.
Whatever, I guess, you know. Because that's how fucking all these scammy fishy shit get older people because they're so like ashamed of doing something ostensibly stupid that like they never mention anything about it, you know, like I don't know.
Yep.
So frustrating.
My question
Yeah.
for you. Did you inform your friend his Discord account got hacked?
I haven't yet. I was wondering if that was a cool idea or if it wasn't. But I would think that maybe you're right.
Because honestly, you may be one victim. How many other people are on his friends list?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
You know what? You're not wrong. I'll do that immediately after this. You're not wrong. You know why I didn't do it? Because I was worried that like he was gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" And it like, but I know him. Like he's not Russian. Like that dude's not Russian. He might be Black Russian, but he's not Russian. Like Russian classic. Like,
And obviously, don't send the message to him through Discord. Do some other means. If it's like
probably,
email,
but
text
that's
message.
The only way I know him is through Discord.
Oh.
I would check what sort of mutual servers you guys have, if any. And at that point, send a message to someone or just a general message, voice call. But if the guy's Discord got hacked, you don't want to send the direct info saying, "Hey, dude, your account got hacked" through Discord because it'll be going to the wrong location.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do something about it. And like the annoying thing is, that's a good idea. That's a good and like it's so annoying. Yeah. And this is actually the Discord that I'm in with him, and he's a really good guy. It has nothing to do with him. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something. God damn it, it's so annoying. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm glad
They gotta do
that
it.
all of you guys like see, this is why I like this show. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like I was being able to be like open and vulnerable, and you guys were basically just offering like good suggestions, good tips. Like I appreciate that like so much. Like I love all of you guys for that shit. Yeah, I don't know. So just long and short of it is, you know, watch your fucking tits and buttholes out on the internet because people are looking to pilfer them.
Oh yeah.
And it's getting easier and easier to do it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I went and hardlined. I had enough.
No.
That's why I was
That's
gone for
Jen.
That's why I was gone so much longer. Went and just ran the cable through the house. So like,
Oh, did
I'll
you
put it
really?
away. Yeah, I was like, I'll put it away when I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And it's running. It's running completely fine now.
Yes.
And it's also not affecting our feeds as well.
Ours and the Discord. Yeah. Yeah.
Because there were times when
100%. That is 100% what the issue was.
Yeah, because there were times when
Well,
you were
I'm glad you did it. That's a good call.
Like the other one of us turned to pixelation, and it's like, great, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Look
not
really bad.
anymore.
Oh well.
Not anymore.
Yep. Just need a permanent run of that cable. That is 100% what needs to be done. All
I'll
right,
just
Rich.
run it
go for
anytime I play something.
I mean, dude, like you said, you had a buddy that was gonna fucking run a hardline into there. Just have him run the hardline in there. Like, dude, it's an office for a reason.
Well, we
Like,
have to go through the attic at
So
some
what?
point, and there's no easy way to get up there. So it's going to be a whole thing. We're going to do it. Don't worry.
that's fair.
But
Okay.
but
I mean,
now-
you lived here for almost 2 years. You see how we ran our shit. Like, actually, you
Yeah.
could probably see here's some of
Yep.
the cords that
Yep.
you go this
There's the
way.
cable.
Yeah, there's one that goes this way. Like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck that. You duct tape that shit down. Be a man. It doesn't matter, okay? Not everything has to be fucking one of those homes on goddamn HGTV or whatever the fuck. Rich, why don't you
Alrighty.
go? With your next one?
Seeing how I've been sitting on this one for a little while, let's like have this one hatch actually finally. So as of like 2 weeks ago now, sorry, August 6th, as of August 6th, some leaks occurred in regards to NVIDIA RTX 5000 series.
Mhm.
Um, interesting stuff
Cool.
here. Expected
Cool.
release date, specs, price, leaks, things like that. Overall, roughly about 48 to 50% faster than the RTX 4090. For anyone who has that, it's like, okay, cool. So more power, yay. When it comes down to specs, though, it's like, okay, why am I paying
Never.
$1,800 for $1,800 for something? Where the fuck did the specs just go? Oh wait, here's part of it. A 5080 is sitting here. They're saying it's going to require 350 watts of power from your power supply.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people out there that are going to be like, get one day one, and then be like, why isn't my computer working? Because they're not going to have enough power already. It really is just plain stupid that we're all kind of already seeing the next generation of graphics cards, and it's like, cool, can we like actually get games that don't drop
Right?
down to
Like-
single digit frames? I mean, is that too hard to ask first before we start going into like $10,000 graphics cards?
Like stuff's not even fully utilizing the.
What
ones
are
that
we
are
even
on the
doing with
market
these
right
things,
now.
dude? I like
Like-
mine can literally do ray casting, and it doesn't. Nothing does it. Like,
My computer, because I've been learning Unreal Engine, I've actually had 2 instances of Unreal Engine 5.2 or 5.4 running simultaneously on my computer, and it's just like, yeah, so what's your point? Bring it on, bitch. I'm like,
yeah, like
okay.
there's just like there is no. We're reaching like the high water mark now,
Yeah.
where it's like I don't know what. Like, I'm sorry, AAA developers, you're gonna have to actually do good gameplay now. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, like
Who would've
like
thought?
graphics are kind of topping out here, bro. Like,
I have a 3060 and I have yet to run up against anything that I can't run.
Same here. I mean, I'm running a 3070 Ti, but it's very little difference between yours and mine, Paul.
no,
At that point.
the actually, in fact, Kay, you're bringing up a really good point. She said, "Are they for Bitcoin?" No, because there's new cards that are coming out, which is funny for graphics cards to come out with this that are specifically made for mining that actually don't output graphics.
Yep.
They're doing the same
They're just
processing.
processing.
Just the
Yeah.
processing
Basically.
portion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
So no, they're not even doing that. Like, so what are we doing here? What is all this like fancy shit for? Like,
It's like
I
the
mean,
fact that there's 8K TVs, but there's nothing that supports true 8K, really.
yeah,
Like-
right. Like, I want to watch. I don't even want to watch 4K pornography. I keep bringing this up multiple weeks, but like 8K pornography, I don't want to see an ingrown butt hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's too much. Like, that is too much clarity. I don't even like I. Sometimes I have sex. Oh, this is a little bit. No. Sometimes I have sex with people, and I do this. Because it is late at night, and I might not want to see all the crevices. Okay, well, all right. I made both of you laugh. Ha ha ha.
Oh god.
Thank you for being my friends. Travel down the road
Yeah.
and back again.
I don't know. I get it because like they're a company, and obviously if they're not making stuff, then what are they doing? But maybe you just don't. I don't know. There's got to be some other way to make money than to keep just like getting ahead of the curve to a point
Well,
where it's just there's nothing, like you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, waiting for everything else to catch up.
well, I mean that's part of the thing though, is like the 40 series was already ahead of the curve. Why are we going?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
hey,
talked about this like a year ago.
At this point, we're no longer sitting here going, okay, the 40 series is ahead of the curve. Now we're just like off the edge of the planet because we've gone so far around the curve, and it's like, come on.
And I don't know like how long. Oh, cool. Well, then this is gonna last me 10 years, and companies are like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't have an answer, so why the fuck would I buy this? Like,
Mhm.
you know? And like, yeah, ray tracing is really cool, but do you understand that technology, the base level of developing that, you need like AAA dollars to even develop that like into your engines. We're not there yet. Unreal 5 does not use ray tracing natively. What are we doing here, people? Like you are literally out, like the guys at the starting line, he's got the gun and somebody's just like like already running, and he's like, oh, well, I guess we're racing. Like, okay, well, boom, and then he shoots, and then the rest of the people start running. It's like, duh. Question, I'm guessing
I don't understand what we're doing here. Like, when does it stop? When does Nvidia stop? Like,
well, you can't. That's the thing.
Are we going to talk about? Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm
like,
saying. But
that's the thing. Like, that's the inherent problem of capitalism. At the end of the day,
are we going to talk about the 6000 series in another year? You know, and 5.
More than likely, yeah.
So, Name just brought up an
I saw that question here too.
Yeah, and this is interesting. So yes, we did talk about the SAG-AFTRA strike for voice acting and AI and everything. So no, I did not know that they came up with some bullshit to support the AI to write. Although it's not gonna matter at the end of the day, at least not for a while. Like AI writing is trash. It is garbage. They can barely string a sentence together, let alone a coherent story. The fact that any company would be backing that just makes you look terrible at this point, right? Like, because as a whole, anyone who is like
Nvidia,
like anyone who is like, I don't want to say tech literate or like, you know, part of that, like anyone who hears the Bitcoin thing was the first one, then it was fucking what was the fucking what was the images that were NFTs. Like, this is just another one of these things that like everyone is just pushing because it's a buzzword right now, and I don't think it's really a big idea. I think that at the end of the day, anything that ends up being artificially created either by full art or words is going to be so easy to identify, especially with the next generation of kids who grow up with AI being so, dude, those kids are going to be able to be like fake, 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 terrible, fake. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be so much better at it than we are. AI is nothing more than a mimic. Right. But it's also the real problem is that it's a mimic stealing from people who are real humans. Like that interview with the girl from ChatGPT when they were like, hey, so where did you get all this information? She was like, public sources. And she was like, okay, so YouTube? And she goes, I don't know. Okay, like Facebook? And she goes, anything that is public, I don't really. We have no laws about this shit right now, but it's coming like a freight train. These companies are getting away with fucking murder.
Oh god, yeah.
Being able to train these really shitty AI with the totality of the internet already. So as soon as these like lockdowns like of companies, the government's gonna have to be like, dude, you can't just fucking take everything in the world and like, you know, process it into your fucking Skynet. Like, it's just not gonna work.
Oh yeah, because then they're gonna immediately start trying to copyright this shit.
Oh yeah.
call it their own.
Right. And right.
It's like that's
And-
not
and-
how that works.
And the next thing that was brought up that I think Drew Gooden put out was he was like, hey, so Google also has their own AI. Google owns YouTube. YouTube could just put in a thing into their like terms and conditions, being
Mhm.
like, yeah,
Yep.
we can use anything that's on here, like as like, but would that mean that it's retroactively? No, it wouldn't be that, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's so we're in such a weird time right now.
Mhm.
Kind of for all technology, honestly, but especially like all this hyper technology.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Rich.
well, especially considering the simple fact of the people that were kind of hoping to help
Hey,
us
Dale.
figure out regulations and develop laws about this shit. They're the people that want to sit there and say, no, we're not doing anything, pay me more money because I sit on my ass all day.
Mm.
And it's
Right.
like, great, cool. How about we just tell you, Mr. or Mrs. Politician, go fuck yourself, vote you out, and then get someone competent in there. Hopefully.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
But
Like even that is like a fucking like okay, it's not
Yeah,
good on
yeah,
that
that's-
particular route,
yeah.
but like even that is a goddamn fucking chore because you know, yeah, I have seen that making unintelligible stuff. I have seen that as a response, but the
Mhm.
problem is even if you do that, right, it's like a percentage, right? That's like still not going to be enough to combat the fact that literally all of these AIs can just gobble up anything, right?
Yep.
So if people make unintelligible shit, that's still not going to change the fact that like Da Vinci's work is, you know, public, fucking all writing that is public domain, which I'm okay with, right? If it, like that's where I feel like all this shit should fall. Honestly, me, Alex Queen of the guy,
Mhm.
if it's over 100 years and it's public domain, like if you want to gobble up every single Sherlock Holmes book and put that into your AI, sure, it's public domain. That's fine, right? Like that's completely
Mhm.
fine. Honestly, what we should do is sick Disney on these assholes and be like, hey, Disney, by the way, all of your shit is also being fed into this.
Mhm.
Just putting it out there, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this reminds me of. I'm actually surprised we didn't talk about this, but I guess we are now. The Amazon Games CEO who said that we don't really have his direct quote is we don't really have acting. When he was asked about the SAG-AFTRA strike in relation to AI, the direct quote is responded, especially for games, we don't really have acting. The majority of the team sits in programming, and that's not going to go away because that's all about innovation. The funny part is Amazon then tried to clarify and try to like add context to this, and the context was that what he meant was that we don't have actors on staff officially at Amazon Games.
Right.
Which
Hmm. Can you
Okay,
backpedal any
then-
faster?
maybe you should have like I'm actually kind of surprised more companies don't have actors on like some sort of like repeat contract, like a Hollywood studio almost. You know, like, oh, well, you know, we want to use this person like for 3 different games instead of it being like a game by game. And I get part of that is because games take so long to make,
Right.
yada yada. But man, yeah, just the complete disregard of like acknowledging any aspect of it as art and it all just being pieces that you can, you know, smush together and
Yes.
Mhm.
you know,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's exhausting. I feel like every day it's a new
I
story.
know,
about
but they,
Oh, yeah.
saying
here's
something stupid.
here's the annoying thing though. As people who are paying attention, we have to continue to be vigilant, to make our voices heard, to have conversations with each other, to keep broadening people's perspectives of how, like, misinformation. If this already, this is so scary that you could just AI whip up like some screenshot of a news report about like Osama bin Laden having a Slurpee at the 7-Eleven down the road from me. Dude, AI could just generate that, and then I could
Guess
just
who's
put it
back?
online, and then I could just put it online anywhere I want. And idiots won't, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a legit scary technology
Yeah.
that the
yeah.
companies, this is a Skynet situation.
Oh yeah.
They are not thinking about the long term. What they're thinking about is the bottom line of people, traffic, advertising, dollars. The fact of the matter is this could be used in so many negative ways. Shit,
Yeah.
people being literally recreated like without their
Oh, yeah.
permission, like
Oh, yeah,
voicing.
Disney is leaning into that hard. They're buying. They bought fucking James Earl Jones's voice.
Right. Like
Like,
but at least they paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
that means 50 years from now, there's going to be a movie starring James Earl Jones.
Or him just having a Coca-Cola because they had a deal with Coca-Cola in a movie and James Earl Jones was there. And yeah, I know. Like all of this shit is really like legitimately 1984 levels of scary.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is legitimately that scary. And if we don't start taking it that seriously, it's gonna go that way. It just is.
Oh,
If
yeah.
we let companies just free roam, this is another one of those like they ask for an inch and then they end up taking a mile because we give them that 1 inch.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
it's just it is truly frightening. Like
It
whatever.
blows my mind that SAG-AFTRA is the one leading the charge against this the most.
Hey, at
Like,
least you know what? That's
I-
a big organization with a
Yeah,
lot of
oh, yeah,
eyes
no,
on
it's
it. Like,
huge.
Yeah.
hey,
It's huge.
somebody's doing
there's
it.
just nobody in tech. Or,
I
No, of course
ge-
not, because they could make money
Yeah.
off of it, Paul.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would they fucking rally
know.
against it?
I genuinely don't see like the unusualness of the charge being led by SAG-AFTRA, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if a
Yes,
developer
we do need to improve on media literacy.
Yeah. If a developer somewhere were to come up with some way to simulate a person's voice, or even just write more code faster, they'll look at it as, okay, I can now take this and do the amount of 2, 3, 4 developers, which means
Oh, yeah.
maybe I should now go start my own studio and I can be a one-man team of 10 developers, even though I'm just myself and I've got this thing that I've created.
Yeah.
And yet they
Yeah.
won't see the bad part of it because it means that they get more money.
Yeah, that Amazon story that I was talking about, one of the other things he said in his perfect utopia of AI working, the way he said that the idea is to turn 5-year development into 3-year development. That's insane.
How?
With AI, with the use of AI to make a game that takes 5 years to make, less people, more AI, and now we're knocking out 2 years of development time.
With AI, I can fill up this cup in
Yeah.
2 seconds, not 10.
Right.
Yeah.
How?
But
How is
I mean,
AI going to do it, though, is the
like,
question.
the thing is, it will end up being a tool set, right?
Yeah.
Like for artists, it'll end up being a tool set where it like, okay, lighting, like real-time lighting is actually a pretty good comparable parallel to this, right?
Mhm.
Because back in the day, you had to literally draw cones where lighting was going to go. And then real-time lighting came out and you would place the light bulb
Mhm.
and it would just reflect light naturally. AI is basically going to do the same thing. And it's going to do the same thing for all artists. And I think that that's going to be a good thing. But right now, the most evil, insane shit that companies can think of to cut every fucking corner and every dime they can get out of it, that's what they're thinking of.
Oh,
The
yeah.
most
Yeah.
maniacal,
Yeah.
fucking diabolical
How
fucking
many
shit.
people
is what-
can we get rid of? And
right? Can we
replace?
axe
Yep.
to fucking make this?
And then we own, yeah, because they essentially
That's
wanna
exactly
own-
right.
Yeah, they want to.
I am too. I think all of us are. I mean, look, this is the entire chat is
Yeah.
all of us going, dude, this could go horribly south. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
easily.
Like, and I don't trust fucking lawmakers even, because you know why? Companies just show up, hand them a fucking check, and then they go, yeah, everything's fine. Like,
Yep.
you know,
Mhm.
I trust the system about as fucking far as I can throw it, and it's fucking it's not even a real thing. It's a fucking falsehood that we just all agreed to. You can't
Yeah.
even throw that piece of shit. Like, this just all is bad,
Bad.
bad, bad, bad,
Well,
bad,
and
bad.
Oh yeah.
it makes it so much worse
Right.
too,
That's
because
exactly right, Blue.
at least in the realm of video games, like the industry is already so fucked
Yeah.
Mhm.
as it is
Yep.
before AI. Like this is only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get so much worse.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's already so bad.
Yep.
So bad. Yeah. So yay.
I love that.
Future.
Like, you know what? Here's the one thing I do love. I do love the fact that we have this small little corner of the internet to ourselves where we can talk about this and say the like our apprehensions about these things, and like that feels good, right? Like there's still always going to be that, which is important,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's important
Mhm.
more than almost anything else, right? Like AI is never going to be able to like literally be like, oh, you know what? Maybe when AI 2 comes out, AI like robots are going to be like, how about AI 2? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like AI 2 seems like it's like gonna take a lot of our AI jobs. Like that'll be kind of funny. Like if I'm alive for that, that'd be kind of a funny conversation. Um, but like at least we are starting to have these conversations where we're being like, and again, I don't have these conversations with everybody, but like, you know, we're being adults about it. We're having a viable conversation. And I think that like first and foremost that like the bottom level of humanity, and I'm counting myself 100% the bottom level, we need to have because the only reason anyone else is in charge is because we basically put our faith into them that this is going to be okay. Eventually, if I have to learn how to build a fucking guillotine, I will. I'll go to YouTube to do it, and it'll be in my like algorithm for a really long time. I'll build one guillotine, and it'll be suggesting me guillotine builds for the next fucking 2 years. But
If you want to
I will
be
learn how to
real
build that
ironic,
guillotine.
be
Like,
real ironic and use Chat GPT to tell you
no,
how
I'm
to
not using
build.
Chat GPT. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna find some handy maker that like is like some guy in like I don't know Georgia or something, and he's like, I built my guillotine. I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this and have to build this guillotine. But it only takes a couple of guillotine swings, and all of a sudden they're listening to us again because we're the majority, right? We are the majority,
Yeah.
so we have to make our voices heard, which is so
Well,
contrived
we
and
need
like, but
unions.
we need all of it, like.
Unions are probably the best
Saved you a
bet
step
for
there,
the
Alex.
game
I
industry.
appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So if anyone is going to join me on my woodworking journey into making guillotines,
I like that
um,
website, woodworkingnut.com.
who's next?
I think I am.
That's exactly right.
Wait,
That's right, Name.
we were talking about something and then got on to
'Cause I didn't.
SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay,
Did
wait.
you
And then
guys skip me
can
while I
I?
was dealing with my shit too?
No, we actually didn't. Can I also talk about this because I just want to talk about it? The Zelda timeline. Does anyone want to talk about this real
Oh
quick?
yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Okay. So hey, adorable nerdy people that I love. Let's have this conversation about the Zelda timeline real quick. So, at Nintendo Live 2024 in Sydney, they had a slide that said everyone had finally gotten to a place where we knew how the Zelda timeline had worked, right? This has been like a fucking fly in the ointment of every nerd for as long as I remember, right? Like trying to figure out like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
then here's the young Link's version, and then okay, the Child of Light wins or loses. That's how the split of the timeline goes. So I'm going to put this up on my screen right now, and I will put it on Rich's stream if you would like to see it as well. So here, boop, is the new timeline. that is official. And as the Legend of Zelda history, since 1987, Link has starred in the Legend of Zelda series. When evil rears its boorish head, you can bet that Link and his long-lost co-star Zelda will be there for the fight for the Hyrule. Over the last 37 years, Link has had quite the career full of numerous adventures and countless enemies. If you'd like to learn more about the hero's journey, grab your tunic and check out some of his starring roles below. So, this is actually a official, for the first time ever, timeline from Zelda for Nintendo, like literally being like, hey, and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom aren't on it. You fucking bastards. What the hell? Like, we had kind of all just figured out like how
Yeah.
it is, and they do this. So now they're not in any I
Yeah.
don't know if it's a remove from canon because they did not actually say that.
The
But
leading theory is that they're so far into the future that it's irrelevant.
that doesn't work for people who are
Yeah.
fans of this
I know.
series. I mean, we have clearly see this, right? Here's child era, here's adult era,
Mhm.
here is the hero of
I mean, that
defeated
already throws a
heroes
fucking
children.
wrench in it because there's only, much. Yeah.
It is just like, dude, what are we doing here, guys? Like, if anyone is curious, I do have the link. I can literally
I just hate that they even acknowledge the fucking Majora's Mask thing in the first place, that there's this timeline of
I think
he
that's good.
wins or he loses.
Here is the link. I will put this here on my chat if you're interested, and then I will put this in Rich's chat. I can't believe the huevos on Nintendo. Like, dude, it had been 37 years. You're right, and we had finally and like the official compendium came out. And they were like, "Yep, totally. Like that is here it is." And then like out of fucking nowhere, they just decided to screw us all again. And
Mhm.
there it is again for you
They
guys.
never took
Oh, yeah.
that shit seriously in the first place.
I know, I
Yep.
understand that,
Yeah.
but like the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is, the community does, right?
Yeah.
And to out of nowhere be like, ah,
Here's
come
the
on,
complete
guys.
timeline, and oh, by the way, the latest games we've been giving you guys, yeah, they don't fit in anywhere.
Even though they do kind of fit it, fan theories have put it like kind of sweetly placed in the the hero wins timeline, right? Not that hero loses, because that's like the first branch is the hero wins or the hero loses. And now they're like, I mean, yeah, it's over there, because it is. If you look at it again, here
Yeah.
I'll bring this up one more time. It is still under the hero is triumphant line, right? That's where they put it. They didn't put it up by the heroes defeated. So they still technically gave us a little bit of information and then also said, well, it's canon. I'm sorry, did you say that was canon? Is it no. Moving on, next skit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? Like, why would Nintendo do this? It just muddies the waters even further.
Yeah. I do like the last line in that link you shared. The Zelda timeline is a thing of big debate, and it's only as current or accurate as when Nintendo decides to change it.
Yep, basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Meanwhile, did you look at the reactions that people have given to this post?
Yeah.
30% are disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, go Nintendo, way to give us something and then disappoint everybody.
And again, why? Why?
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted to,
They should have just never done it.
why
Yeah.
even say it?
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
even say it? Like,
Yeah.
it took you 30 fucking years to sweep up the timeline to basically like, okay, he wins or he loses, right? Like,
Yep.
and you finally did that. Why the fuck wait another 30 years and then say something about it and then put it into some order? Don't just randomly throw this out in a PowerPoint presentation in a random event in Australia, a country full of thieves and ne'er-do-wells. That just seems weird. I don't know why I went that route, but I thought that was kind of a funny way to say it. I don't know. That just seems bizarre, man. Like, I don't know. That's all I really wanted to mention. If you guys have anything further to talk about, go for it. I don't really care. I just think that's fucking weird.
It's weird. I don't understand why they even bothered. Like,
They really shouldn't have.
Yes,
Point blank.
exactly.
yeah, they
Like,
never should have made an official timeline.
Don't
They
show
never
me the
should have.
Kessel Run if it's gonna be in fucking Solo and it's a piece of shit. Leave the user's imagination. Like, this is something AI would do.
Yeah.
And here is the exact answer, and everyone goes, mm-mm, mm-mm. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yep.
Some things like people can just leave up to their own imagination, and we can, theorize on it, and like that. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
I do have a quick one. I'm not going to go into. I'll save one of my bigger ones for next show. I do have a really quick one though. That's really silly. Where was this? Shinji Mikami, the creator of Dino Crisis. Since we'll just go with Dino Crisis, since that's what
Couldn't we go
story's
with
about.
Resident Evil? Because that's what I would go with. But
In this particular, this is Dino Crisis related. So
Okay.
he was interviewed, I guess, recently by Eurogamer, and this is a direct quote. "I'm very surprised to hear that fans want more Dino Crisis. The awesomeness of dinosaurs and the stuff you can do with dinosaurs, that's been kind of really nailed down by Monster Hunter in recent years." So he's basically saying, like, we're not doing Dino Crisis because we have Monster Hunter.
I mean,
even if I were to decide to make,
Why
a
should we
remake
play an
or a new
Xbox when
version
we
of
have
Dino
computers?
Crisis, I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of space for that kind of game right now, just since Monster Hunter has become such a big game. But yeah, it is surprising.
So we're not getting new Dino Crisis anytime
No.
soon.
No, I wonder if this is in relation to that poll recently too.
Yeah, the Capcom
because
poll.
Dino Crisis was massive on that poll.
I know.
It
Did
got-
you watch the Maximilian video when he reviewed the
No.
results? Dude,
No,
it
I
was
read the results.
okay, so did I. The Maximilian review was really funny. He was like, I do not know how all of you Dino Crisis fans got together and stand together in the US
Oh,
at the very like there was so many results. Also, Regina is her name, right?
Yeah,
The main
Regina.
character,
Yeah.
Regina. The fact that I can remember that is baffling because that is the most nothing character that has ever existed out of Capcom. Like, so at least I guess they mentioned it, but like I don't understand what yes, dinosaurs are cool. Like I'm not 9 years old. I don't care about Dino Crisis.
I put Dino Crisis and Breath of Fire, because Breath of Fire was the other one that was very popular in that
Breath of
poll.
Fire I like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I don't know, man. I would take a Dino Crisis that was done in a remake of the first one that's done in the Resident Evil 2 remake style.
Or in first person, like in 7, like that
Where
could maybe actually be a little terrifying. But like, you know what? Even then, I would buy that for like $20, like several years after it launched.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that day one.
No.
I'm just not. Like,
I
think that this is almost like a Nintendo syndrome where everyone's like, I really want a new Star Fox, and then if it actually happened, like that thing would sell kind of badly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they would have to limit its scope, and they would probably not do that. Yeah, they would probably spend a shitload of money. Well, they did do that with Star Fox Zero on the Wii U.
Redhead is Redhead a personality?
Hey, yeah.
Oh, Mega Man Legends that did come up as well. That did come up as well.
Yeah, Mega Man in general needs something.
Yeah.
It's been when did 11 come out?
A couple of years back, yeah.
3?
2018.
No, 11?
Mm-hmm. October 2nd, 2018.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. So well longer.
Me.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
And it's it's great that most of the franchise is available now on modern gen. You have the ZX and the Zero games, you have X, you have the basics or the old school, and you have Battle Network.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Battle
their
Network was awesome.
Their preservation has been
great. They're
yeah.
preserving it.
But yeah, I think we
I do the last Onimusha was what oh man.
I mean, even Onimusha got an HD remaster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, 2018 as well.
Oh, was it really? I
Yeah.
was gonna say 2016. Holy shit! Wow, I was off. Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
yeah, that's another franchise. Like Capcom. I mean, realistically, we could all pick any company and be like, "Hey, let's just randomly go look at all these franchises that they're sitting on that we would like to see." You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't even get me started about Parasite Eve.
How about Konami? Konami's
Yeah.
sitting on a mountain of shit. Sega
Yeah.
is even Sega, in my opinion,
At least they're
mid-tier
actually
ass
doing
fucking.
something though
True.
They are, but like, I mean,
with that
overall,
project.
they're still sitting on a boatload of shit. Where I'm like, dude, where's fucking? Why have I never got another like fucking Crazy Taxi? Why have I never gotten another fucking Strider? Like, why have I never gotten Wait, what was the one where the guy turns into an Altered Beast? Come on, man!
Yeah,
Altered Beast
yeah.
was on the Genesis.
Hey,
Give me
we
another
are
Altered
getting
Beast.
we are getting that open world AAA Crazy Taxi. What are you talking about?
Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden is Tecmo
Yeah,
Koei.
Koei Tecmo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer your question as far as why did we never get another Strider, there is one.
There is the one that came out in 2012, right? The one that was on the Xbox One. And I did beat that, and it was really good, actually.
Where did it
2014.
just go?
2014. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the Xbox One, and I did beat that, and it was quite good, actually,
Yeah,
because it was a
game's good.
Metroidvania.
Mhm.
It was quite good. It was
Yes.
quite good.
I found a couple of out of
Bloody
bounds.
roar! Hell
things in
yeah!
that one.
We need a Virtua Fighter 6 before we need a
Oh,
Fighting
yeah.
Vipers.
But I will take Bloody Roar above
Oh, yeah,
fucking
Bloody
Virtual
Roar.
Fighter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but
I'll take Bloody Roar before Virtual
Bloody
Fighter.
Roar. Who does that again?
That was Sony, SCA.
Konami.
Was the last one for the fucking
Konami,
5.
Hudson Soft and Aiding is the developer,
right,
but
Hudson.
Konami is the publisher.
Hudson Soft. Oh god, Konami. How about that? Hudson's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Like Konami is sitting on a
Oh, yeah.
fucking a mountain of money. If they just put in a little bit of money, they would be sitting on a mountain of money.
Especially considering the simple fact of some of
Yes, we all want that too.
some of their IPs that they've got, they don't even have to throw a ton of money and make like super huge AAA game
Right.
out of it. They could sit there and be like, "Oh, hey, let's take Gradius or Life Force and
Contra, the most
throw
recent
that
one.
one out there."
Contra.
Yeah.
That one
Oh,
that
yeah.
who's the team that does
Garuda?
Yeah,
Is that what it's
who's the
called?
team that does Shantae? That's who did it.
Yeah.
Way Forward.
Oh, no.
Way Forward. Yeah, and it's really good. But $30, eat farts.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Oh my god, yeah, I saw Cybertron was selling the physical for 60.
Get
Or
the fuck
65, I'm sorry, 65.
Get the fuck out of here. What was it on?
PS4, PS5, and Switch.
That's
$65
frustrating.
for the physical. Yeah.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, because it's probably an extremely limited run.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it
Yeah.
is.
Yo.
All right. Does anyone else want to talk about anything? It is. It 100% is.
Yeah. I have one, but it is a downer, so I am not going to end the show on that.
Yeah, let's not do that. This has been the
Especially
last like 45 minutes have been fun.
Especially when you start getting into it, it's like, okay, this is even more of a downer than just a downer. So
Okay, well yeah, let's not do that.
yeah.
Gearbox
You know what game
Brothers in
Konami
Arms.
has
I like
been
that series.
making, which is funny, is they put out a new Bomberman like last year.
Bomberman makes money though because it's
Yeah.
Bomberman. At the end of the day, it's a low cost
2
to
years.
make.
Yeah, they also
Like-
put out a Bomberman on Steam like 3 years ago and then shut the servers down. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
not?
Super Bomberman R2. Well, that one's still on Steam for $50.
Yeah, but that's because Superman Bomberman R was a Switch launch title, which did really well because there was 7 fucking titles.
Yeah.
And so obviously you're gonna do well. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you're
well,
not getting anything out of Gearbox anytime soon. That's not Borderlands.
the next thing you're getting is the lowest fucking common denominator being fucking Borderlands 4, which
Yep.
is just like announced. Woo.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the deal. I'm not touching that fucking thing until they fix their shift servers Suck
God.
my ass, Bobby. Fucking greasy shit. No, Randy.
Yeah,
Oh my
I was
god,
gonna say,
Randy.
once Randy Pitchford
Randy's
is gone, I might.
I
be
was gonna say,
willing to
did you
buy
just
Joe
almost
Buck
call
from
him
Randy.
Kotick?
Bobby Kotick. I almost called
Yeah.
Randy
Oh my
Bobby Kotick.
God.
That's how greasy I think he is. Now show me a magic trick, you fucking
Yeah.
dirtball.
Don't ask him about that USB drive he left at a Pizza Hut.
Yep. Yep. All right. So, do we have anything else to say? Not really, that's it.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Woo-woo.
Next week I'm streaming Satisfactory 1.0 release.
Oh no shit! Is it actually like done?
Shit. It's going to, well, no, it's not done, but it's enough done for them to sit there and say, okay, the rest of this shit can hold off till after 1.0 and
So it is
do
official
it and do it
launch
in
then.
updates. But this
Nice.
will be the 1.0 release launch.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Do you
Yeah.
think it's gonna go on sale?
Probably not, just because, I mean, they've had it out there for sale for how many years? So
Yeah, I know, but
don't
like, I feel like for the
if
fucking 1.0, I'd put it out for sale because, like, honestly, like, I might put, like, because I don't even think I own it. I don't think I own it. And 1.0, that's when I like early access games that are long time early access. That's usually when I'm like, yep, okay, you're now delivering the tray of bagels that is completely cooked. I would like to eat your bagel. And if it was on sale, I would definitely eat your bagel. Also, I would definitely eat your bagel is definitely the title of my sex tape.
there it is,
Okay.
folks.
Classic. Classic.
Alex is coming
alright,
for your
well,
bagels.
I will. And by the way, most of you would like it. Just okay. I like it's cream cheese.
I'm
I
not
got a bruschetta
judging.
schmear.
Alex is gonna eat everybody's bagels.
Yes, Bill, I am gonna eat everyone's bagels. Tell Bill that I am. That son of a bitch. I feel like he doesn't. I feel like he doubts my bagel eating experience. All right. Well, excellent show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this was a good one. All right. Well, this was awkward. Good way to end it. Nice job, guys. Well, bye, Rich's chat.
Bye, Alex's chat.
Bye, everybody. Have a good
Bye,
one.
Paul.
Later, Paul. Alrighty. And as you guys know, as you guys heard there as well, I will be doing a fresh playthrough of Satisfactory. I'm thinking I will do it as multiplayer, just host it on my computer here instead of spin up a whole a server for it, because I know that there is the ability to do that. I just don't think I want to do that, just because it seems like most of the action is already in the game. You don't have to like go outside the game, like just have it run on a server kind of a thing. But I could be wrong. Whatever. Either way, guys, I had a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun. Again, we'll be back in 2 weeks with the talk show again, talk about more news that's going on and whatnot. So, yes, that will be cool. In the meantime, I will be doing another playthrough of Haiku the Robot starting tomorrow. I'm thinking of trying to do it as a challenge run and not pick up the wrench, which means I won't be able to repair myself between checkpoints. So that'll be interesting. With that being said,